There's the coconut oil. I'm going to just squeeze it out onto, it's squeezable, so makes it very convenient.
Oh, that's neat.
You just rub your 9 by 5 inch loaf pan with it and put the parchment on top of that. Just a strip of it so that you can pull this out when it's totally done. So make sure there's enough room coming up the side for you to have a handle on.
So you're just making a little saddle?
Yeah, so that once the mixture is set, you can just pull this up in one piece.
And having a food processor is a really great thing because there's no baking or anything with this recipe.
No, there's no baking with this. You put everything in the food processor and then it goes in the 9 by 5 pan. So the next thing is to put in the walnuts. That would be 1 3/4 cup. One and 3/4. Next would go in 2 cups of chopped dates.
Oh, those are so pretty.
I know, they're good. So 2 cups.
Dates are so good for you too.
So that was one package. And the next thing is 1/4 cup natural peanut butter. I measure this. It's so smooth.
So these sound like they could be energy bars. Like you can put them in your bag for when you just need a little snack to keep on going. I would imagine kids would like this too.
You just think about all the good ingredients in it, and could this really be not healthy? I mean, it just sounds like it would be.
No, are they sticky with the peanut butter? I mean, it would be hard to. Do they make your hands sticky?
No, once that's mixed in. Peanut butter vanilla, which takes 2 teaspoons. Definitely measure this out. 1, 2. And kosher salt. I think it's 1/4 cup. How many teaspoons? The next step would be you put it, everything is in the food processor, and you finely chop until the mixture holds together. be pulsing this. I think it's pretty well holding together.
Ooh, it smells like peanut butter.
Yay!
So it looks kind of like it would stick upon itself and it would form into a ball.
Mm-hmm. What I'm going to do now is take a parchment paper and pour this mixture on it and knead it for a moment until it's definitely all together. Take that out.
Kind of like the mountain you have next door.
I know. So you just kind of push it together as best as you can. I'm going to pick it up and do it.
So you're just trying to make it a loaf now?
You want it to all stick together, so what I'm doing is I'm going to press it together and also at the same time try and make it into a square. So it will, half of it will fit into the pan, 9x5 pan. It moves right along as you're pressing it down. Try to keep it together. Like use the heel of your hand. Kind of makes it move along.
What size are you trying to get at?
8-inch. But you can imagine 8 inches, and then you're going to cut that 8 inches in half. So it's going to give you 2 layers. It's easily formed. It just takes a few minutes. Excuse me. Let me just see how far I gotta go. It's only 7 inches.
A&P. I haven't seen one of those A&P stores in eons.
I don't even know if they still exist. Rochester. I think it's the peanut butter that kind of makes it more formable.
So let me see your hands. Okay, so your hands aren't all peanut buttery or doughy.
Nope, it's all mixed in. Let me check this side. For this other one.
That looks really good. I could just eat it like this.
Oh, look at 8.
Oh, perfect.
This will need to be longer. You can see it, they're rather thin layers, but they're going to be double, so.
I would imagine this would be really good for athletes, like kids who are doing a sport, soccer, swimming. They could just get some energy, put these in your bag, and be good to go without eating a lot of bad food. Or this has got the nuts and the peanut butter.
These are almost addictive. I mean, I'm speaking from experience. They are so delicious. Thank you, Martha Stewart. I think that does it. And I think at this point, refrigerate until it's firm.
Okay. How long would that take? 10 minutes?
20 minutes. 20 minutes to firm it up.
So when does the chocolate go on?
The chocolate, what happens, I'll give you a little preview. The next thing you do after it's in the refrigerator for 20 minutes makes it a little bit hard, more manageable. So at that point, you're going to cut that in half so you end up with 4 inches on each side. You take half of that and put it in the 9x5 pan.
Like this loaf pan?
Yes, the 9x5 pan, loaf pan. And you pour half of the chocolate mixture on top, and that's when you put it back in the refrigerator because that has to set. At that point...
Do you melt the chocolate?
Yeah.
Okay.
At that point, once that's set, you put the other layer on top and put the remaining chocolate on top of the second layer, and then you refrigerate that. And then you can eat it.
Is it hard?
Ooh.
Is it hard to cut?
Oh, no.
It's trying to, like, cuts like fudge. Just kind of goes right through.
Very easy to cut with a sharp knife, and you make like 1-inch bars. You might be tempted to make more, but maybe bigger, but if you want to have a lot of them. So you can see it's very easy to make.
And
I
here's
think the hard part is just pressing it into an 8-inch square.
yeah. Well, thank goodness for food processors.
Oh yeah.
I can't imagine.
That.
I can't imagine stirring all that up by hand.
I'm gonna flip that in here and stick it in the refrigerator. So it sets.
Okay. All right. So it's been about 20 minutes, and you've
Yes, and it's cool. And at this point, I'm gonna get your pan ready and cut this in half. I'm gonna just eyeball it. That looks like about half. And just to be cautious, I'm going to get a nice spatula to lift this off with so that it doesn't break up. That in there. That'll be all right. Just adjust it. And now at this point, you can put the chocolate on.
oh boy.
So I've already melted the chocolate.
Looks good.
And it is mixed with the coconut oil.
Oh, okay. To
1
make
tablespoon of the coconut oil. And see how shiny it is?
Yes, beautiful.
So you just want to put a half of this mixture on this. And then this goes back in the refrigerator because it has to set. we don't want to put the other half on at this point. We want to wait till this hardens a little bit.
What would happen if you put it on at this point?
Probably nothing. It would probably still be good, but I guess maybe the looks of it maybe would look better.
Oh, the chocolate would squish out or something?
Maybe when you're cutting it into bars.
Mm-hmm.
That sort of thing.
Oh.
So, I'm going to put this back in the refrigerator now. Save the other half of the chocolate for the remaining half of the bars. And this will go back in the refrigerator too, so that it will stay firm.
Okay.
So, we'll put this back.
All right, you just took this out of the fridge. It's just been a few minutes and it's already hardened.
Set. Yes, I think they call that set. So, at this point, you get the other half of that mixture.
Well, you know I gotta try it.
Already cut and ready to go. So, with this, I'm going to do the same thing so it doesn't. Put that on. Darken that up a little bit. And at this point, you're going to put the rest of the chocolate on top. This is semi-sweet chocolate with 1 tablespoon of coconut oil.
It certainly is shiny.
I think it's the oil that does that. I want to get all the chocolate out of there. Think it's all used up, but it's it's still a lot in there. Make sure it's all covered.
I'd imagine the chocolate acts like a glue to glue everything together.
And adds that great taste to it. But I'm still getting a lot out of it. Almost done. Okay, now the last step.
Is that pecans? Walnuts?
The last step is a few walnuts right down the center. Just put them down. It just makes it look pretty. I kind of break them up as I go. And lastly is this sea salt.
Oh, what's special about the sea salt?
It just gives a wonderful flavor to the chocolate, and the combination of the chocolate and the nuts and the chocolate, they just so taste so good. So I'm just going to sprinkle this along the side. Don't need a lot.
It looks really chunky, like a huge crystal to it.
Right, it's a flake, sea salt flake. And it just goes really well with chocolate chip cookies, or in this case, these bars. Now the last step is to let this go in the refrigerator for at least 2 hours before you cut it into bars, maybe 1-inch bars. We'll have to try those in a couple hours.
I know. Here.
Take a bite. No, you take a bite. I want you to tell me if it's delicious.
Ooh, so here it is. Mmm. Mmm.
It's a double one.
It's better than a Reese's peanut butter cup.